It's your boy Big Rob back in my hotel room, and I am here. Just got back from Bitcoin's day 2 at Nashville, the convention. What an electric evening! My God, man! If you were here watching this, you would understand the magnitude of today's announcement and Trump's speech. Very polarizing. I am beyond excited for today's turnout. I'll start off by saying, first of all, having an absolute blast here in Nashville. And what a beautiful city. I'll start off with this. So we are Sin City Crypto based out of Las Vegas. Today's announcement also, I know everyone's seen the big headlines with Trump, but the next Bitcoin convention is going to be in Las Vegas. And so we're very excited for our home city to be hosting the next Bitcoin convention. We are already starting to brainstorm and plan what we have in store for that convention. I mean, it's going to be huge. It's at the end of May. I think it's May 25th, 26th, and 27th. Not exactly sure on the dates, but I know it is in May. So it's really realistically not too far away. But I wanted to give you a rundown or a feeling from today's convention and give you my thoughts and just my overall takeaways from today's energy. And I know a lot of you were out here. I know Knoxville. Did talk to Jimmy. He was trying to get me in with you. I wasn't able to meet up with you, and along with a host of other people as well. I was getting pulled in a million different directions, but I really did not want to miss the Trump thing. So I was only at the convention for all of maybe 10 minutes, and then I got in line and got in to see Trump. It was sold out, or it was at max capacity to see Trump speak. And so you really had to get there early. The seating was only for 8,000 people, and there was 20,000 people, 20 plus thousand people in attendance for the convention. I think that I saw numbers as high as 30,000. So it was basically a first come, first serve. So I got in line early, got some seats up in the front. I had front row seats. I do got some videos as well. I'll post those a little later, maybe on X, or maybe we'll go over them again on Monday's show. But if you've just woken up from hibernation and you're not aware of what's going on, Trump spoke today, and it was about 45 to 50 minutes of straight Bitcoin talk. Now, he did discuss a little bit of policy. Trump did go into energy, but it seemed to be that even the policies he was talking about that wasn't related to crypto, we know kind of circles back around to crypto. And so he talked about energy, wanting to be having cheaper energy here in the U.S. He wanted to drill for oil and build a host of new power plants. And we know that for the miners, obviously the big overhead or the largest factor in selecting the area is going to be energy. And he did spend about 5 to 10 minutes talking about Bitcoin being made in America, mined in America. And so that was the first takeaway. And then later he discussed the U.S. policy on the strategic reserve. So basically, the U.S. has reserves for whatever it is. They deem it the strategic reserve. And so basically, we the most familiar one is the oil reserve, where, if all of a sudden one of the Middle Eastern countries or a country just decides not to send us any oil, we have reserves that'll get us by for 6 months or a year or whatever, however much the amount is. And so we do the same thing with gold, and you never know if something happens, wartime, you need a commodity. And here we're going to be guarding Bitcoin, setting that aside into a reserve. Also, one of the things that you might have missed on the headlines is that there's going to be a crypto council. And so in the same way that you have a board for the FDA, for the Food and Drug Association, you have the home, you get like the housing committee, things like that. You're going to have a board for crypto. And so instead of letting unknowledgeable people that have zero experience or limited experience in the crypto industry come up with rules and regulations, there's going to be a committee that is elected by the executive branch. And then from there, they're going to offer suggestions, do hearings, create rules and guidelines, and also create laws, which they'll propose to the House and Senate. And so really excited to see who will be named to the committee. Now remember, this is all contingent on the fact that, well, one, Trump were to win the election, and then two would be to deliver on his promises. And so these are campaign promises, and we know that with politicians, a lot is promised during the campaign. And I'll say you probably somewhere like the 50% range. I'm no expert on politics as far as how much they deliver on their promises, but I would assume probably 50% of policies that are proposed during elections are actually followed through. But it seems like there is so many levels. There's so many levels to Trump's package or plan that I just find it hard to believe that he would just completely abandon the idea, right? So you have the mining, the energy, you have the strategic reserve where, hey, the US is going to buy and hold Bitcoin. You also have a council. You have the fact that you want to bring mining to America. And then also on top of that, he mentioned that the U.S. is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin with over 240,000 Bitcoin that the U.S. has acquired through forfeitures and seizures. And so basically the Justice Department has a crap ton of Bitcoin. And as we saw with Germany, they were over here selling, and the selling, it put a lot of downward pressure. And so the U.S. is in a similar position. They have 240,000 Bitcoin, and Trump basically said, hey, we're going to cede this strategic reserve of Bitcoin with that. And then he even took the stage and said, hey, we are not going to sell a single Bitcoin, period, not selling. And so it was a stark contrast to a politician that a couple years ago was saying that he doesn't believe in Bitcoin, he believes in the dollar. And now the man is up here talking about HODL, and we're not selling, and we're creating a committee. So pretty amazing on how we got here in such a short period of time. Now also, prior to the speech, we actually got the speech delayed by an hour. And during the delayed time period, it was quickly going around the auditorium that Elon Musk was going to show up. And so I don't know how true any of this is, but some sources that are part of the team that puts together the Bitcoin conference were in discussions with Elon Musk coming to the convention. And so Elon Musk supposedly had the demands that, hey, I'm only going to show up if I can share the stage with Trump. Like, I'll go, but I'd like to meet Trump. I'd like to be on the stage. And so that was our assumption. They even came on the loudspeaker and said, hey, we're delaying it. We're waiting for a special guest. And, there's all these Twitter posts going on about Elon Musk's jet landing in Nashville, him getting off the plane, just shy of Trump going on. And they come on and they said, hey, we're going to delay this for a special guest. And I mean, who else would you delay? Like, imagine you have the former president, the biggest speaker you've ever had, a viable next president candidate, some would say likely next president, and you're saying, hey, Mr. Trump, you're not going on for an hour. We're going to delay you. For me, my big takeaway was there's only one person that would delay Trump from hitting the stage, and it was Elon Musk, and the dude just landed, and it sounded like he was going to come in, but no Elon Musk appearance. Trump took the stage. No Elon Musk, even though it was an hour delayed. And, you know, who knows? Maybe something happened there. Anyways, oh man, Cynthia Lummis. So immediately after Trump got off the stage, Cynthia Lummis, who is I think the senator of Wyoming, and so she came on and said, hey, you know, Trump just said he's going to have the strategic reserve. The lady had the bill in the hand. She was like, we've already drafted a bill for the strategic reserve and what that's going to look like and the Fed's roles, and here's the rules, and she's going to propose it to Congress. So very interesting. And so in there's a couple takeaways. So for the strategic reserve, one, they're going to seed it with the 240,000 Bitcoin they have. And the goal for that is within the next 5 years to increase the position of that strategic reserve to 1 million Bitcoin, which, as we know, there's a hard cap of 21 million Bitcoin ever to be in existence. So 121 of the total supply. So just a little over 5%, or right around 5%, for the Bitcoin supply. So pretty huge news there. So not only did Trump come out here and say, hey, we are going to create a strategic reserve, but then literally 2 minutes later, they already had the bill drawn up. It's there now. So I don't know what the process is for you know, putting a bill up for vote, but she said it was done. And so she went over the details of it. So for the strategic reserve, this is how it's going to work. 1 year, or excuse me, 5 years to get to 1 million Bitcoin. Start off with the 250,000 they have, and then they're not allowed to sell it. And this is written in there. So they can't touch or sell the Bitcoin for a minimum of 20 years. And then she said that the only thing that the Bitcoin can be sold for after 20 years is for debt payments on US debt payments. So 20 years from now, let's just say they approve this bill, they get 1 million Bitcoin in there. You can only imagine what the price of Bitcoin is going to be 20 years from now. I mean, Bitcoin's only been around for 14 years. So yeah, take that plus 6 years, you know, the entirety history of Bitcoin plus 6 years. So 20 years from now, I mean, you would imagine each Bitcoin is going to be well over $1 million. I'm sure it's probably $10 million Bitcoin, as long as there's not any kind of compromise to the system or any kind of exploit. You know, you never know. You got BIP proposals. But before I get ahead of myself, 20 years, they can't touch the thing, and then they can sell it to pay off debt. And they were saying that, you know, with the trajectory of Bitcoin, plus the trajectory of the price of Bitcoin, plus the 1 million, plus you forecast it out 20 years, they're estimating that Bitcoin will be enough to pay off the entire U.S. debt. Now, that would be a ton of sell pressure, which crash the price of Bitcoin. But we won't go there. You know, we'll deal with it 20 years from now. But the big takeaway here is that, hey, look, for the next 20 years, we got one buyer that is by law not allowed to sell for 20 years, and they're going to pick up 5% of the supply. They're going to pick up 1 million Bitcoin. They already have 250,000 there, and you don't have to worry about that 250,000 Bitcoin hitting the markets. And because we know that there has been times that the U.S. has sold, and you know, we've always anticipated, hey, when is the U.S. going to sell that Bitcoin they have on reserve? You know, there's always this speculation, but you know, rest assured that as long as Trump gets in office, delivers on his promises, and that bill gets passed, we're off to the races. Also, man, let me tell you, the entire place exploded. Everyone got out of their seats. Everyone got out of their seats, started pumping their fist and chatting and going absolute nuts. Do you know what it was? Not when Trump walked in. I mean, it was a standing ovation, but the man said, on day one, when I get in, I'm firing Gary Gensler. And everybody just freaking erupted, bro. Everyone's like, whoa. And Trump was like, he was like listing off a bunch of things he wanted to do, right? He's gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fire this person. Elizabeth Warren sucks. Oh yeah, by the way, day one, I'm firing Gary Gensler. And it caught him off guard. My man was like, whoa. Like everybody was like, and he even stopped. My man stopped and was like, I did not know. This is Donald Trump. Donald Trump was like, I did not know that Gary Gensler was hated this much. And then he went back and replayed it. He was like, all right, I'm going to tell y'all one more time. He's like, day one, I'm going to fire Gary Gensler. And boom, the crowd erupted again. I think that my big takeaway here on, well, there's a lot of takeaways, but one of them is that with that Gary Gensler thing, I think now he understands the disdain for that man, how much he has held our system back, the U.S. Regulatory system, how he's used it as a weapon, how he's used the SEC as a weapon, how they've just moved everything offshore. And, I think that you're going to hear Gary Gensler's name pop up more often, right? Because of the reaction that he got off of that at this auditorium was crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy. And so I think that he's going to be at some other rally. He's going to be at some other play. You know what I mean? Like, the dude saw the reaction, so I'm telling you he's going to do it again. I promise you. He's going to be at some other rally. He's going to be, I don't know where. He's going to be like, I'm firing Gary Gensler. But the only difference is that you're going to have middle America people that have limited exposure to crypto. They're not going to know who the hell Gary Gensler is. But regardless, it's cemented in that dude's head. We don't like him. Get in office. Get rid of Gensler. Please do us all a favor. He went after Elizabeth Warren, called her Pocahontas. He was poking fun at her. He did his normal mudslinging, calling Joe Biden and Kamala Harris despicable, the worst people, And you know who Trump is. You're not going to change who he is. And so you got Trump at his finest with his favorite quotes, and he's going to make Bitcoin network the greatest thing that's ever been, that's ever lived, and all this. Also, they gave him a gift when he got on stage. They gave him one of those like Bitcoin, the coins that you see on like the internet. And so it has like a C phrase like etched into the middle of it or whatever it is. One of the physical Bitcoins. And so, he got one of those, and I'll just say this was what an energetic atmosphere, right? You get lost. I do the show. I'm always excited about crypto. I'm always excited about the progressive news and, hearing that, this country's buying crypto or this company is going all in on crypto. And, but when you share that excitement outside of, for myself personally, the studio walls, you got to remember, we got a soundproof studio. And then I just got David there next to me, And so it's just the two of us, just two little peas in a giant pod. And we're both excited about crypto. And then the cameras turn off, and then everyone else is all like, you still doing that YouTube thing? Like, yes. They're like, what coin should I buy? The Doge Lombard, Shiba Inu, Doge, and so, it's very refreshing to see this atmosphere where everyone shares that same ideology. That's the beauty of these conventions, is you get outside of that normal bubble that you're at work where you're the one crypto weirdo and now you're a giant crypto weirdo group, just like all these groups. And I'll tell you, there are some weirdos over here, man. Let me tell you, there are some weirdos in crypto. I'm sure you're not aware. You're probably a weirdo yourself, but I still love you. But here's the thing. There is so many strange ass outfits and dudes and things, and yeah, y'all weird, man. Y'all weird. I love y'all though. But I'm weird too. I yell hola all day. And then the funny thing is I'll be at the convention, and I'll just be walking to the convention, and you just hear somebody like, hola! And I'm like, what? So that's always fun. Yeah, and then you know, the nightlife has been cool. The food's been great. Hung out with the guys from Legacy Network. I know that's one of our sponsors that we are always pumping. They have their app that just went live last week. We were pretty excited about it. So we've been hands-on playing with it, hanging out with the devs. So that was cool. And going to Benjamin Cowan's party tonight. And so another YouTuber, I'm sure you guys have seen him. He hosts pretty cool parties. He's had some every convention. So we're gonna go hang out with him as well. And then I'll just kind of give a little love to the chat here. Thank you so much for all of you joining. And you know, it takes moments like this to where you really get that excitement for crypto. And it's moments like this that, you know, you really appreciate the community. You know, a lot of people take for granted they do this every day, and you know, from the creator perspective, but we do this every day, and so a lot of times what gets lost in the sauce is the fact that, hey, the community is the one that is driving the ship, right? I'm creating content that you guys like, and do it all for you. And so to all of you, thank you so much for being part of our community. I try to write each one of you back every time you make a comment. I'm just really thankful for all of you. So with that said, Poman13 dropped a 5 gifted memberships. So Poman, first of all, thanks to you. I know you are in our chats all the time, a long-term community member. And I know you're a big Cardano guy. I know you're always excited when we come out with Cardano videos. We've been doing those more on the regular. Also, you know, with Cardano, they're having the Chang hard fork is about to go live. So if you're a fan of Cardano, it is reaching that decentralized milestone where the governance is taken away from the foundation, the IOHK, and from the Cardano Foundation, and going into the stake pool operators and the voting system and the governance. And they have their council, which the council members have been voted on. So very excited for that as well. There's so much on the horizon that, like, you should be excited about. I am myself. But to all of you, I want to give a thanks to checking in. We got Rusty Bot, Ding Dong Daddy, Cryptic Crabman, also El Chingon, IMJ, The Kid Come On, Rusty Bot. Then you got Big Swole, Simon, Knoxville, Patrick, and also, who else we got up in here? Into the Cosmos, and Screwdriver, Ricky Romero, Mario Caravan, GT, Nicholas G, Cardano Mint. And so to all of you, and also Mark Dutch, to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Once again, have a great Saturday night. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, checking in, and we will be back to you live on Monday. You're gonna get me and Rocco, and we're gonna be kind of going over all these events as well. We're gonna package all the news and videos up. So make sure you can tune in on Monday. It's gonna be a great show. And then also we got 11 or Alvin 3LVIN. Not sure how to pronounce that one, but anyways, he's in the chat as well, so big shout out to you. All right, with that said, I'm signing off. Thank you so much, and have a blessed night. Take care.